Is still prevalent. This time it's rearing its head in the Free State. Now, Free State Primary School teacher in Bloemfontein has been found guilty of racism and hate speech by the South African Human Rights Commission. Now, the teacher was expected to face disciplinary action today, but there have been some developments. Now, the Wilgehof Primary School teacher is accused of allegedly displaying a racist attitude towards black pupils and also displaying the old South African flag. Now, our reporter Palesa Matsane joins us now live from Bloemfontein's newsroom. She's been following this story quite closely. Palesa, good morning to you. Very good morning to you. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, Blaine.
Palesa, firstly, let's just get the latest developments. I understand there's been some developments with regards to this disciplinary action. Tell us the latest.
Well, as you correctly mentioned, there was supposed to be a disciplinary committee meeting today where the teacher was supposed to be appearing. But the day before yesterday, we found out that the teacher had sent a letter to the Department of Education to say that he has been admitted to hospital. We've also just heard from officials from the department that his illness might be stress-related. So for now, the disciplinary hearing has been postponed, but the date of the hearing will be announced at a later stage. I'm sure it must be a stressful situation.
Palesa, firstly, let's just give us a recap. How did all these events come about?
Well, Blaine, in July, a parent approached the Human Rights Commission to report that there is a teacher at Wilgehof Primary School who has the old South African flag displayed on his classroom permanently, and that also there were posters of monkeys as well as black people, basically just insinuating that black people make monkey-like noises and that's all that they know. So the parent also got the Human Rights Commission involved in the matter. They launched an investigation, and the Department of Education was also roped in, although earlier they had been informed and had not necessarily followed up the matter. But basically the the Human Rights Commission did some investigations, and they compiled a report which they've now released, with the finding that, yes, indeed, the teacher is guilty of racism as well as uttering racially abusive language at the children.
Yeah, let's just talk about that, Palesa. I mean, you said it was a stressful time for the teacher that is involved. I'm sure it is also a stressful time for the children. How are they coping with this?
Well, the Department of Education has actually informed us that they are offering counseling services for learners that have been, affected, whether it's emotionally or psychologically, by the actions of the teacher. So that is organized and is available for the children if and when they need help. But also what I can tell you is that during the investigations of the Human Rights Commission, they issued questionnaires to the learners, and they also engaged with the learners themselves. And this is how actually they got to the truth of the matter as to what exactly had transpired.
Just tell us about those findings. In terms of the investigations, how was it conducted?
Well, as I said, questionnaires were issued to the learners to fill out, and there were group discussions as well. And teachers were also issued with questionnaires. At this particular school, the majority of teachers are white teachers. There's about 20 white teachers and about 6 black teachers at the school. And the black teachers, according to the Human Rights Commission, filled out the questionnaires. And from their statements, there was institutional racism that was detected by the Human Rights Commission. But now, strangely enough, the Human Rights Commission says that they were disappointed by the disinterest amongst the white teachers because they opted not to fill out the questionnaires.
These questionnaires are not compulsory?
These questionnaires are not compulsory. They could say yes or no.
Well, just with regards to racism in general, do you find that it's a big problem in your area?
Well, not exactly. I was talking to the Human Rights Commission about this matter, and they said that they're actually investigating a significant number of racism cases, but not necessarily high. They just said significant. And they also mentioned that most of these cases involve employer and employee. But amongst their recommendations from this investigation they conducted at Wilgehof Primary School was a recommendation to say that a an assessment be done of all the schools in the Free State, public schools, to check the level of racism in schools.
Palesa, thank you very much indeed for your time. We'll be indeed following up with you. Palesa, that was our reporter Palesa Matsane joining us live from our Bloemfontein newsroom, shedding more light on the Free State Primary School teacher who was found guilty of racism and hate speech by the Human Rights Commission. Stay tuned to SABC News to find out more.